guy who's ambitious and who's willing to work hard for you and your kids in the future.
In your line of work, I mean, it's very different in Gambia. I'm not sure we have a lot of actuaries in Gambia. Like, how do you fit in? Was it difficult to find a job? Do you always have to explain yourself, like, this is what it is, this is what I do, kind of thing?
Yes, I get actuarial work all the time, all the time. And I'm not the only one with a BSc in actuarial science. There's another girl working at Social Security.
Is it just the two of you?
Yes.
In Gambia?
Yes, in Gambia right now.
Wow.
We have two friends that are working in England right now.
Yeah.
They also studied actuarial science.
And they're Gambians as well?
They're Gambians
Are they looking to come back home soon?
I think they are, if the market is open for them to come back. Yeah.
But how was it getting a job? Was it difficult to fit in, or?
For me, it wasn't difficult at all. I had an internship at Social Security before I left. They actually paid for my studies.
Right.
So when I came back, I just got back into the system.
So what exactly do you do there?
Okay, what I do right now is not as actuarial as I would want it to be.
Yeah.
What we need and what we really want in the very near future is to go work with qualified actuaries somewhere or in a big actuarial firm, so we can get all the experience that we need, so we can come back to Gambia, because there's a huge need for actuaries in the Gambia. We have all these insurance companies, banks, investment companies, and all these financial institutions that need actuarial scientists.
And sometimes in our workplaces, because we're very young, and then we're girls, we're female, young ladies, it's always difficult to carry out your work properly because of the older people at work. Because sometimes you want to say something, you want to do something, you have the experience, but somebody will just come to you and say, how do you take things like that?
The good thing about it is, right now at the company where we work, everybody is young, and everybody appreciates each other's suggestions and remarks. So it's much more easier to communicate what it is you want. But scenarios like that have actually happened. I was part of the student union in the university and other organizations. But you would see that in areas like that, where you have people older than you, you might want to make suggestions and set out criteria for changes to be made. But because you have, or you're surrounded by older people, you're basically shut down or not remembered or not taken into consideration. That's not just in the university, but just in general, in society as well. You might be involved with, let's say, adults in a conversation or just a general meeting also. But because you're the youngest there, you might have an idea of what could solve that scenario. But because you're the youngest, like, your remarks are really not considered. And even if you do get to talk, they really don't listen.
So that kind of makes you withdraw.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold back, because you really can't contribute, because when you do, it's just brushed away.
Exactly. And that's it. To a certain point, it gets annoying, because you're realizing that the people you're talking to are saying something that is not quite...
You really know that this is not it,
exactly.
but you really can't say something.
Seen a scenario just yesterday. Someone came to me. Actually, the guy came before that, and then just to tell me about a show that he's planning to do, wherein he will invite the artists, Gambian artists, especially the cultural artists, you know, to come and showcase their talent, and that will be televised, okay? And then he went to speak to the elders about this to try to bring them on board. And guess what they told him? After you've done your things, and then you're coming to tell us. So what's that mean? It means that, you know, they feel inferior, they feel underrated.
Because they wasn't consulted in the first place.
Exactly, but again, I think something needs to be initialized and thought before said.
Before saying.
That's what I think. So you see, these kind of situations, they kind of, you know, discourage people. And then I'll take this opportunity to advise the companies, you know, when they're having board meetings, let them try to involve the young ones, because we have different generations, and every generation consists of different ways of doing things. So if they try to include the young ones, they would know what's out there, how they can be able to tap the customers, the right customers they need, how they will be able to deliver the right services to the people, because, you know, they have combination of old and young brains, and then they can do something perfect.
Right. Kumba, you said you're a Grit, you're born a Grit, you're creative, of course, and then that automatically makes you a singer. No? Is it different?
Yeah, it's different. The reason why it's automatic, because that's the perception. I mean, that's how it used to be. You know, you're born a griot, you are expected to sing. Automatic. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you should or you must. You know, this is something, it's a passion.
Right.
You know, we've seen people who are not griots and they're singing. Seen a lot of them and they've succeeded in it. Coming to computer science, all right. My work involves, you know, installation of servers, desktop support, networking, and stuff like that. So
and then you have to wear your jeans and shirt and probably a cap to just
Sometimes I work with an ISP wherein I need to climb towers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the next minute you're on stage performing.
And and then in that evening I need to go and perform. So the way I do these things, you know, you were told the program, you know, a week before, and then you try to call your band members. You do a 1-week training towards the program. So and then every day you have to wake up and go to work. You know, installing servers, and then you get so tired, you need to come back and do the show. But that's the way we do it. You know, you kind of balance yourself. Like,
but how do you match the two? I mean, you're a computer scientist, you're a singer. Will marriage fit into it at some point?
Obviously, she just mentioned that her mom is a full-time mother, a full-time.
But
worker.
that's one profession.
Exactly. No.
That is one profession.
Don't see it as one profession.
No. She goes to work. She goes to work. She's the mother and she's the wife. Okay. We understand that.
Do you believe that some people are not able to, you know, really perform as mothers as effectively as they're supposed to?
That is very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. We see that all the time. But what I'm saying is, her mother's got a career. Perfect example. She's a mother and she's a wife. She raised great kids. You're a computer scientist. You're a singer.
Yes.
If you're a wife, you're going to be a mother. That's 4. Okay. How would you match that? Isn't that
Is it 4? I thought it's 3.
No, it'll be 4. It'll be 4 because you'll be a mother to the kids and then you'll be a wife. Okay. And you'll be the singer and a computer scientist. How will you match that? How can you convince a guy that you will stay home and then be the perfect wife, the ideal wife?
So I went to school when I was 12. I started school when I was 12. Wow. So since I was 5 until 12, I served as a mother. I served as a housekeeper. So I was lucky to have that idea at a very early age. And then I started schooling. I did my schooling for over, let's say, 12 to 14 years. And then, but again, I live in the family of griots. So every time I hear songs, every time I listen to music, so all this combined, I grew up in this kind of environment. Right. So I don't think I will find it hard.
As a quality assurance engineer, before you started work, did you find it difficult to get a job or have to explain yourself whenever you go out on an interview? You always have to say, okay, this is what I do, this is what I enjoy. Was it difficult to fit in or get a job?
Fortunately for me, I was an intern at the company I am right now. Right. So right after graduation, I was just taken in as a full-time staff.
Where did you study? Where did you study?
At the University of the Gambia.
They do that?
Yes. No, the internship I applied for by myself. Okay. Yes, but the university does do internship programs, but mine I had to do.
No, I mean what you studied, quality assurance, like where did you study?
Oh, no. No, actually I studied computer science at the university, and right after school, or during, in fact, before I graduated, my biggest concern was getting a job as a young female, getting a job after studying computer science, a good job that would suit me. And I studied computer science, as Kumba said, but I have other passions. As I said, I'm curious and I need to know just how everything works. Right. So I would say I didn't find the job found me. Because I started off as an intern doing computer science, but I realized that in as much as I am into computer science, I'm not as passionate as I would want to be doing it.
And you spent how many years studying?
4.
I think it's the same thing for me, because I spent 3 years studying. I did economics and banking, and then I had issues.
Yeah, that happens.
Major issues. But then again, here I am doing this, but then what I do, I work, and then it's economics and finance. Yeah. So it's difficult. It's always difficult because people always ask me, "Oh, you do the Fatty show. You're on the Fatty show. Did you study journalism or media?" I'm like, no, it's just a passion. Yeah. Now it's not wrong to study something and then do something else. I mean, there's always that chance to find yourself within, because growing up we always have this problem of knowing what we want to be